What is going on, Trash Talkers? We are back with another episode for you. In today's video, we're going to give you our Mock Draft 1.0 Super Bowl edition. All that and much more coming your way right now! All right, Nick, it's that time of year again, mock draft season, and I cannot wait to get started with our first edition mock draft 1.0 for the 2022 NFL Draft. Nick, why don't you get us started with the Jacksonville Jaguars? You are now on the clock.
Yeah, this is a big decision for the Jacksonville Jaguars, but I have Kayvon Thibodeaux, the big defensive end out of Oregon, coming over, making a big difference opposite Josh Allen. This guy, 6'5", 258 pounds. He's a freak athlete. I think he'd do incredibly well in Jacksonville.
I 100% agree, and up next we have the Detroit Lions at number 2, and who better than the Michigan boy himself, Aidan Hutchinson, going to the Detroit Lions, making his impact felt on that defensive line, being a cornerstone for Dan Campbell's team. I think Aidan Hutchinson is the guy, not only for this defense to build around, but this entire team to rally around. I love what Aidan Hutchinson brings, and I think he's going to be a difference maker for the Lions moving forward.
Coming up at number 3, the Houston Texans are looking to bolster this offense, and they do it here with Neal, the big left tackle out of Alabama, coming in at 6'7", 360 pounds. This guy is a mammoth of a man. Look at Mekhi Becton, look at Trent Brown. He is going to be the next dominant force to protect the blind side of Davis Mills.
Next up at number 4, we have the New York Jets on the clock, and they will be taking cornerback Derek Stingley out of LSU. Stingley, highly regarded as the best cornerback in this draft. I know other names have started to pop up and try to challenge him, but all season long, Derek Stingley was the top corner in college football, and now he will be doing it for Robert Saleh's defense with the New York Jets. I believe that this is the perfect pick to get started for the Jets, and they will finally be able to cover somebody on the back end.
Next up at number 5, we have the New York Giants with their first selection in the top 10, and they're going with big left tackle Ike Ekwonu, coming out of NC State. This big left tackle, 6'4", 320 pounds. He may not have the physical stature to really threaten you, but wait till you see him on the field. This guy is going to absolutely dominate and really help out DJ, try to get this guy back on the right track, make him the Giants franchise quarterback.
Definitely, and when you're talking about franchise quarterbacks, that's what the Carolina Panthers need, and at number 6, we see them taking quarterback Kenny Pickett coming out of Pitt. This guy has really been moving up draft boards, and the Carolina Panthers, they had everything they needed this season, except for a quarterback. They had everything at their fingertips, and they just let it slip away. Obviously, Sam Darnold with the injury issues, and then Cam Newton not knowing how to throw a football anymore, apparently. It all went by the wayside. Now it's time to get this team back on track, get them the quarterback of the future, Kenny Pickett, lock it in at number 6.
Next up at number 7, we have the New York Giants with their second pick of the top 10, and this time we're looking at the defense. They need some help in that secondary, and guess what? Kyle Hamilton, the big safety out of Notre Dame, this guy was an absolute freak athlete, making plays all over the place. 6'4", 219 pounds, an absolute physical specimen that's going to fly around the field, lay the lumber like Cam Chancellor. He is the real deal.
At number 8, we have the Atlanta Falcons taking Ahmad Sauce Gardner, the cornerback out of Cincinnati. Sauce is just one of those guys. He's highly physical, extremely dominating at the point of attack. This guy can go up and climb the ladder and get any jump ball that you ask him to. Standing at 6'2", 200 pounds, this guy is extremely massive for the cornerback position. He's going to be able to stand up to some of the bigger wide receivers that we see in the NFL. He's going to be able to go toe-to-toe with anybody when it comes to his speed, and I fully expect this guy to be a difference maker opposite A.J. Terrell.
Coming in at number 9, the Denver Broncos are also looking for a franchise quarterback, and they go in, get Matt Corral out of Ole Miss. This quarterback had a very strong collegiate career, didn't quite turn out the way he wanted to in his final season, but the Denver Broncos get a lot of potential here, 6'2", 205. Anything is really better than what Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock put together last year. I believe that Matt Corral can really get them to where they want to be.
At number 10, we see the New York Jets once again on the clock, and this time they're finally protecting Zach Wilson, getting Charles Cross, the massive offensive tackle coming out of Mississippi State. At 6'5", 310 pounds, he is going to be the opposite bookend of what we expect to be Mekhi Becton, but could be George Fant. We'll have to see how that plays out, but nonetheless, this is a massive need for the New York Jets. They need to protect their franchise quarterback, and it starts on the ends. This one with Charles Cross, lock it in.
Well, with 2 quarterbacks off the board, the Washington Commanders are looking a little scared, and they need to act fast, and they do. Right here, getting their quarterback, Malik Willis, out of Liberty. This quarterback is standing at 6'1", 225 pounds. He may not have the best arm, but he's got some of the best physical traits, and he can be a real dual threat quarterback in the NFL. Go look at what Trey Lance is offering and why the 49ers moved up for him. That's what Malik Willis is offering. I think the Washington Commanders have a bright future ahead of them.
At number 12, we have the Minnesota Vikings selecting defensive end George Karlaftis out of Purdue. This man is huge coming off the edge. 6'4", 275 pounds. This guy is an absolute force. He is great in the run game. He's going to be able to dominate one-on-one against tackles and really help on the edge, solidify all those running lanes. And then when it comes to the passing game, this guy knows how to get vertical. He is going to come after quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers and all these other quarterbacks in the NFC North have to watch out because Karlaftis is coming.
Moving on to number 13, we have the Cleveland Browns looking to get Baker Mayfield some weapons to see if he is their franchise quarterback. Going with Drake London, the wide receiver out of USC, standing 6'5", 210 pounds. Baker Mayfield struggled with accuracy last year. This is going to be no issue for next season because Drake London's got the biggest catch radius out of every receiver in this draft class, and he's going to be a perfect match for Baker Mayfield.
Looking like Mike Evans 2.0, and now the Baltimore Ravens are on the clock, and they're looking to get that defense right after losing a lot of key pieces over the last couple of off seasons on the edge. They're finally going to answer that call. David Ojabo, the defensive end, outside linebacker coming out of Michigan. This guy is a beast. This guy can really do it all. And now 6'5", 250. This guy has what it takes to put pressure opposite some of the best athletes that the Ravens have to offer. With all of the corners that they're getting back from injured reserve next season, this guy's going to put pressure on quarterbacks with them not knowing where to throw the ball. It is a great and typical Baltimore Ravens pick.
Next up at number 15, the Philadelphia Eagles with their first of 3 picks out of the next 5. They go with corner Andrew Booth Jr. out of Clemson. This guy was a rock star, 6 feet tall, 200 pounds. He's got great ability in man coverage and zone coverage, a real multi-tool that can be used in a lot of different situations. This is exactly what Nick Sirianni is looking for with the versatility Andrew Booth offers.
And it must be Groundhog Day because the Philadelphia Eagles are on the clock yet again. Garrett Wilson at number 16, the wide receiver, replacing the no-hands McGee in Jalen Reagor. They need somebody opposite Devonta Smith who's really going to be able to catch the ball, set up the field for Jalen Hurts in this offense. I believe Garrett Wilson is that guy. He is going to be able to take the top off the defense. They're going to have 2 massive vertical threats on this offense and let Dallas Goedert work underneath and do everything he needs to. I fully expect the Eagles to answer the call at wide receiver.
Moving over to number 17, the Los Angeles Chargers know that their defense was a big issue last year, especially up front with stopping the run. They get that fixed right here. Big man Jordan Davis out of Georgia, 6'6", 340 pounds. He is a one-trick pony, but he is absolutely stellar at that one trick. If you need someone to stop the run, this is your man, and he's going to free up Joey Bosa to go and be a top 5 defensive end in the NFL.
Yeah, quarterbacks might want to be on the lookout because he's going to eat them. But speaking of quarterbacks, we have one coming up next with the New Orleans Saints picking at number 18. They got to get this position right. Obviously, no Sean Payton to lead them. It's all up to Dennis Allen, and this is his first draft to really set the tone for the Saints. We have them selecting Desmond Ridder, quarterback out of Cincinnati, standing at 6'4", 216 pounds. He has very prototypical size, what you're looking for at the quarterback position. Big, statured quarterback who can throw the ball with accuracy. He has mobility, and Desmond Ridder has been as high as the top quarterback on big boards, and he's been as low as the 5th or 6th. So right now, it's up to the New Orleans Saints to figure out if he's their guy, but I believe that Desmond Ridder will make a great career with the New Orleans Saints.
Next up at number 19, the Philadelphia Eagles with that 3rd selection in the 1st round. This time, they really want to fix up this offensive line, make sure that run game stays the best in the NFL. Going with guard Kenyon Green out of Texas A&M, standing at 6'4", weighing in at 324 pounds. He was an absolute mauler, can really push defensive lines and create some big gaps to run behind. I think that this is a perfect fit for how Nick Sirianni loves to run his offense.
Next up, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers selecting at number 20. The Pittsburgh Steelers are in very bad shape on the offensive side of the ball, and obviously the loss of Big Ben Roethlisberger is going to be felt. But right now, there's not a quarterback worth taking in the 1st round, so we're going to select center Tyler Linderbaum, the physical center coming out of Iowa. This guy is a tone setter up front. He has the cerebral ability to command the offensive line. They need to replace Marquise Pouncey, who they lost 2 seasons ago. This is the guy who will get the job done. He will be the quarterback of the offensive line.
Coming in at number 21, the New England Patriots are looking to fix up their defense that was so poor at the end of that season. They need some speed at the linebacker position, going with Devin Lloyd out of Utah. He's 6'3", 232 pounds. This guy flies around the field, looks a lot like Fred Warner. He could be an incredible asset to how Bill Belichick loves to run his defense.
At number 22, we have the Las Vegas Raiders selecting Kaiir Elam, the cornerback out of Florida. With the loss of Damon Arnett midway through last season, we saw the back end of this defense struggle mightily at the cornerback position. Kaiir Elam, one guy that I am very high on, is going to be that versatile threat on the back end of this defense with Jonathan Abram to lock down the top end quarterbacks in their division. I fully expect Kaiir Elam to be the difference maker for the Raiders.
Coming in at number 23, the Arizona Cardinals had their fair share of issues, and the defense was the biggest of the two. They need to fill the holes at cornerback, and they're looking at the best available, Trent McDuffie out of Washington. He's 5'11", 195, a lean body, but he's very physical at the point of attack, and he can really make wide receivers feel off balance, make them get out of their comfort zone. Trent McDuffie would be an incredible player on this Arizona defense.
At number 24, we have the Dallas Cowboys on the clock, America's team. We have Daxton Hill, safety out of Michigan, selected for the Cowboys. This guy is a great center fielder. He is going to be able to really play off of Trayvon Diggs in the secondary that they have in Dallas. He is going to be the guy that is missing for those deep balls, the guy that's not going to let anybody at all get past him. I like Daxton Hill, and so should Cowboys fans.
Next up at number 25, the Buffalo Bills saw that their defense was why they failed to make it further in the playoffs, and they need to fix that secondary. Levi Wallace is a big free agent, and it doesn't look like he will be returning. They need to fill that void. Make sure that they can hold up their ends of the bargain while Josh Allen is doing his. They go with Roger McCreary out of Auburn, 6', 190. He's a nice sized corner who looks like and plays a lot like Tre'Davious White. To me, we've already seen this type of player in that system, and it's worked out tremendously. Why not do it again?
At number 26, the Tennessee Titans are on the clock, and who better for Mike Vrabel to draft than a linebacker? Nakobe Dean, coming out of the University of Georgia, the national champion that he is, standing at 6 feet tall, 225 pounds. This guy can go sideline to sideline with the best of the linebackers in this draft class. He can stop the run and help out in the pass game. This guy is a do-it-all middle linebacker, and he is going to be the focal point for Mike Vrabel's defense.
Coming in at 27, the Buccaneers are looking to really make some changes after Tom Brady retired, and they need to make sure this defense stays strong, fixing up this defensive line with DeMarvin Leal out of Texas A&M. This defensive tackle is 6'4", 291 pounds, a perfect offset to Vita Vea, because now you've got your run stopper in Vita, now you've got your pass rusher with DeMarvin. This guy is going to be an incredible asset with getting pressure on the quarterback, exactly what they're looking for.
Next up at number 28, the Green Bay Packers are on the clock, and they have to do everything in their power to get Aaron Rodgers to come back and play for them, and that's where this pick comes into play. They need to lure Aaron Rodgers by getting him more weapons, everything he's been asking for over the last couple of seasons. Now they get Treylon Burks, the wide receiver out of Arkansas, standing at 6'3", 225 pounds. This guy's an absolute speedster, and he can go up and catch the 50-50 balls. He is one of, if not the best wide receiver, in my opinion, in this draft class, and I fully expect Treylon Burks to lure Aaron Rodgers back to Green Bay.
At 29, the Miami Dolphins are looking to bolster their defense, specifically that edge rush, because they struggled getting pressure on quarterbacks last season, and they do it here with Drake Jackson out of USC, standing at 6'4", 250 pounds. This is the prototypical defensive end. This guy proved in the collegiate level that he can get consistent pressure on the quarterback and even finish the job with some nice sacks, tackles for losses. He is a do-it-all weapon that the Miami Dolphins are looking for. He will work out great in that system.
Next up at number 30, we have the Kansas City Chiefs, who fell just short of making their third straight Super Bowl, all in part due to their defense. Their defense could not hang with the likes of Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and company, and that's because they struggled with the cornerback position. They need playmakers, and who better than Martin Emerson, the cornerback out of Mississippi State, standing at 6'2", 200 pounds. This guy is going to be a massive dominating force in the back end of this Chiefs defense. He's going to fit perfectly with Steve Spagnuolo's defensive scheme. He's going to be able to lock up some of the bigger wide receivers in the AFC and really help the Chiefs get back to their winning ways.
Next up at 31, the Cincinnati Bengals are looking to correct this offensive line. They went with Jamar Chase instead of Penny Sewell last year, and it worked out. Now they really need to focus on this offensive line if Joe Burrow is going to last another season under center. They've got to get a guy that is very versatile, and that's exactly what we get with Bernard Raymond. This guy at 6'7", 305 pounds, he looks like your stereotypical left tackle, but this guy can play interior as well. Bernard Raymond really offers a lot of versatility that you don't find in this big of a player, and that's exactly what they need. They need that physical presence on the offensive line, on the inside, to really stop the penetration that they've been seeing over the last year.
And at number 32, we have the Detroit Lions, because the Los Angeles Rams gave up that pick to go win their Super Bowl. Get Matthew Stafford. Nonetheless, the Detroit Lions are back on the clock, and this time they're getting the wide receiver that is going to help bolster their offense, Jameson Williams, the wide receiver out of Alabama. This guy is tall, he's lanky, he's extremely fast, and he can take the top off the defense. Him paired up with Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to be a very dynamic duo for years to come, with Jared Goff slinging the ball the way he does. I know a lot of people are not high on Goff right now, but if you give him consistent weapons and guys that can actually win their one-on-one matchups, I fully expect this offense to take the next step next year, and I fully expect Jameson Williams to be what we saw Jamar Chase do for Joe Burrow.
All right, you guys just heard our picks. Now it's time for us to hear yours. Who do you want your favorite team to draft in this year's draft?
That's going to be all for now. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. We go live every single day. That'll be all. Peace and love.